This is Morten from English TV reporting. Actually, the very last reporting here from day 3 at Drupa 2024 in Düsseldorf. My good friend Michael Aumann, great to see you.
Great to see you,
And I'm sorry
Morten.
that I made a little joke with you. I hope
it's
it was
okay.
okay. Yeah.
It is just fine.
You know, what I like when I talk to you is that you have a passion for what you work with. And I think that when your colleagues are joking a little bit about that, you and I can talk forever. I think it is actually because it shows your passion for what you're working with. But very not too briefly, but just to explain, because you're head of the digital embellishment of Kurz, right? And I was just thinking, because you have at least 3 different technologies in the digital segment that you are focusing on. Why should people buy digital embellishment equipment from Kurz?
Well, it's a great question. I think we have decent answers to that. And I think the first piece is performance. So what we've tried to focus on with our technology is speed, efficiencies. You know, the large foil tower beside us, the only one in the industry that does indexing and saves foil. So efficiency, speed, performance is what we're focused on. So for those companies that have volume, need to work at higher performance levels, we think we have good solutions for that.
I mean, that sounds like obvious reasons to buy from you, right?
I would think so.
Yeah. So how do people, because I mean, one thing is that you go into and say that, okay, I want to buy this machine. Of course, they reach out to you guys. What is the process? Because I mean, there's also a business understanding, because analog world we have known for hundreds of years, right?
Yes.
So now we're going into the digital space. How do you advise people on what solution are best, and is it at all the right solution for you guys? I mean, you also have a past in the analog world, so you know
Absolutely.
both worlds, right?
Yeah. So, you know, I'm not one of the believers that says digital is going to completely replace conventional. I just don't think that's the case. How do we help people, though, make that decision? I think one of the biggest things we bring to the market is that we've got a lot of subject matter experts. And when I say that, there's chemists and engineers who design and develop the adhesives and the transfer foils. So the same company that's manufacturing and making the machines, we also make all of the products that go through the machines. And with our experience in other industries like the plastics industry and security industry, we just have deep knowledge of how things work. So the most important thing is to meet with a customer and find out what their applications are, to make sure any recommendation we make is going to work. And the concept is, how do we make them more efficient, more productive, and quite frankly, how do we help them make more money?
I buy into all of those arguments. I was just thinking one more thing that I can't help think about, because when I see, I mean, I would even say that when I see your presence here at Drupa, you have a wonderful booth, and I think it is, even though that you are a legacy company and have an age, you are still like very modern in your approach. You're very up to date on the design. You are helping designers to understand, let's say, the value of using the foiling technologies in the product, both in packaging and in the books and all these kind of things. So I would say that the legacy and the history, of course, I guess is also some kind of, let's say, a safety for being in the market for a long time ahead of you, right?
Yeah, one of the things, Morten, that I take great pride in is when you think about the Kurz family and what they've done to build the company. You don't have to prove to anyone. There's 120 plus years of proof in the pudding of how we deal with other companies.
And that's exactly my point, Michael. And then I'm just saying that because one thing is we talk about the products and we talk about the current technologies and stuff like that, but it must be super nice for you coming out and say that I work for Kurz, right? I mean, everybody knows it, and they know it because it's been a company that has given so much technology, so much beauty, so much understanding of what embellishment does to products, that it must help you a lot.
Yeah, it does, but you know, also what's really great about it is we've got a company culture. You've heard today.
I saw the dancing.
Rethink what's possible.
Yeah.
And that is a big part of how we work as well, not just surviving off the last 120 plus years, but how do we rethink what's possible? And I'm sure you've heard plenty about sustainability and what we do there, but the same thing comes into our digital embellishment machines. How do we rethink You know, 8 years in the printing industry isn't all that long, but that's how long it's taken us to put together 3 different technologies, sheet fed and narrow web for all 3 technologies, 6 different product platforms. Even though we're there now, the next question is, how do we make these better? How do we rethink this for that next generation of digital?
I guess that must be one of the reasons why it's fun working with Kurz, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Part of that innovative spirit, you know, we've got one brand new machine here, first ever seen here at Drupa, and being part of that innovation and that innovation team, it's hard, but it keeps me at least a little younger.
I understand that. Michael, last question. Flying in from America, being part of Drupa and with your wonderful colleagues here, 3 days old at Drupa, how has it been so far?
It's been fantastic. Our team is really close in regards to our organization around Drupa. So the team approach has been just fantastic. That part's been fun. And it's so good to catch up with people in the industry who you haven't seen for years. It's just, you know, I don't know that I ever grin bigger than when that happens. And you might share the same idea, but you know, every 4 years, it's pretty close to the idea of an Olympics. But for me in my career, you know, this is the Olympics. Not everybody gets to come. It's where all the innovation and everything happens. And, you know, Kurz and me and our team members, we're proud to be here. This is just a great thing to be a part of.
And I'm proud that we are part of this coverage from your booth. So, Michael, thank you very much.
Thank you, Morten.
Great to see you again.
All right, great to see you.